everyone, it's Heather from Heather's Michigan Garden, and I'm finally getting around to a full garden tour for this summer. It is July 6th, and we just had a rainstorm, so we have some flowers and plants that are glistening right now. And we're going to start in the front yard, and if you can take a look over here, we have our Annabelles. The white ones are Annabelles, and you can tell we just had a heavy rain and are kind of separated right now from all of that rain that just happened. But that water comes off, they'll pop back up. Over here, pink ones right here, they're the Invincible Spirit 2 variety from Proven Winners. And they're all just blooming really gorgeous right now. Beautiful. And then if you follow me down here, I have some Gara here. You can see the little pink flowers on here. And then I also have the Endless Summer, the big leaf. Right through here, we have some Becky Shasta daisies over here. I'm just going to step over here. And we have some Heliopsis. I have two different ones. When I picked these up, I didn't realize it's going to be such a high difference, but I have the Tuscan Gold and the Tuscan Sun in here, so you'll see some shorter ones and then the taller ones in here. Again, Becky Shasta daisy. And I got these in a little bit later. I did the bubblegum Supertunias here. I've done them before. They fill in beautifully and be just a beautiful of Supertunias once they all fill in. I have more Endless Summer right here. These are the, I think it's Summer Crush. I think that's what it's called. In between, I have Little Lime. Those are not blooming quite yet. You can see here are some buds starting to come up. They just bloom a little bit later than everything else. And we'll walk right around this way. Here I have the newer variety type of Annabelle. These are the Proven Winners. I have the white, and you can see how large these blooms are. Absolutely gorgeous. And you can tell when it rains on these, they don't flop as much, or if at all. And then over here I have the blush over there. Right here I have the blue chiffon Rose of Sharon. When I planted these, they were only about that big, and they're coming in nice. These Incredible, because they're in full sun, they sometimes can get pretty burned on really hot days. I do not have any drip irrigation in here. I just water with a hose if it look like they really are struggling in the heat. I thought planting these chiffon up here will help give them a little bit of shade in that hot sun in the morning. And as they get taller, they're supposed to get about 8 feet tall, are at their, and I always tell everyone in my videos I'm 5 feet tall, so you can get a good idea on how tall these are. Again, I have those Supertunias, the bubblegum coming right around here. And then I have another blue chiffon right here, and lots of buds on here. It is not blooming quite yet. And then we'll walk right around here, and I have a Proven Winner hydrangea right here, and this is the Let's Dance Can Do, and it's blooming these really pretty pink blooms right now, doing really great. And then if you do a nice wide screen, you'll see how magnificent this looks. And then once those start blooming also, this will be just gorgeous right through here. And you can tell the difference, like they're the Invincible Spirit 2. They don't really flop too much like the original Annabelles, but I still love them. They're absolutely gorgeous. Right here is my big pinky. We did cut this back this year again, and this thing just grows like crazy. We had cut it down, I think, about to the bottom of the window. I don't know if you can see the window up there anymore. It's way above the window. We keep cutting it back and it just grows. So it's starting to get some petals on it, but not quite blooming quite yet. All right. And then we'll head right over here to the swimming pool area. Now our lawnmower just broke, so we haven't been able to mow our lawn. Excuse the grass, we're trying to get that fixed or replaced. All right, around the pool area, and sorry about it's a little bit messy. We just had some rain, so we had our bot in cleaning our pool, so we pulled the ladder out. So it's a little messy over here, but this is the blue chiffon, and I alternated these around the pool area, and this will help provide a nice privacy screen around our pool. And then I alternated it with the Firelight Tidbit hydrangeas, and these get, I believe, 2 to 4 feet tall and wide, and so they're getting to be closer to their height. And these get about 8 feet tall, and I think 3 to 4 feet wide. So if you walk right around this way, and you can see, I don't know if you looked at these up closer or not, but you can see there's a lot of flower buds on these blue chiffon. And the Firelight Tidbit, they're getting a lot of buds on them as well. The hedge over, you can see all the blue petals and all the white. Those are more endless summer hydrangeas. And we'll walk over there in a few minutes. We'll finish this little tour over here. This is some grass that I had planted, and I'm not sure if I have a, can't remember the name of this grass, but it's a proven winner brand. I think it's the Prairie Rose. I think that's what it's called, something like that. I don't know if you can see any yet, but yeah, look right here. It'll start getting that rose color on the leaves, and it gets about 48 inches tall, so it comes out to about the height of our swimming pool. All right, and then you can hear we have more proven hydrangeas. This one is the Let's Dance Blue Jangles, and I don't remember what this one is. I think it's the Pop Star, but I'm not remember. But I have a couple more leaves in here. They're doing really great, blooming. This is a proven winner lace cap. I haven't had very good luck with these. I don't know why they don't bloom very nicely for me. I don't know if it's because they have too much sun or what, but still kind of a plant, or maybe they don't get enough rain. I'm not exactly sure, but they like them. They're really nice looking plant. Over here, we're just starting to get some blooms on this. This is the Limelight Punch. I have one here, and if you take a look at it, it starts out white, and you can see it's starting to get a little bit of pink on here. This is going to get a nice bright red color to it. I have another one of those over here, and this is a little lime. Just starting to take some flower petals on this one. They are all in like the 4 to 6 feet range. Actually, there's a thing right here. I might be able to see it. Let's see. 3 to 5 feet tall and wide for that. And this is what the little lime punch looks like after it gets into full bloom. All right. And then back here, we have the oak leaf hydrangea. And right now I have one bloom on that. And the oak leaf, these were all very small when I planted them. But this is gal, and it gets 5 to 6 feet tall and wide. You want to swing around and take a look at that? Isn't that pretty? Nice oak leafed leaves on it. Nice. And then this is the Invincible Ruby. This is absolutely gorgeous. One of my favorites in the garden right now. Look at the beautiful ruby color on that. Isn't that gorgeous? And this doesn't get very big either. This gets 3 to 4 tall and wide. So it's going to get a little bit bigger. If we walk around here, around the swimming pool, we're still alternating that Rose of Sharon. And look at the size of this. Isn't that gorgeous? That's the Firelight. And we'll just keep walking right around through here. And you kind of see how it is getting and filling in. Wow, that one looks great. All right. And do you want to walk back over there and show them the endless summer hydrangeas over here? Take a peek over here. Over here, the Endless Summer. I have the original and the Blushing Bride, and you can tell the difference in the color. Right now they're a beautiful, beautiful blue. See some of these, just gorgeous. You can look at this one. It's got some purple hues in this one. So these are the, if you walk down here, these are the Blushing Bride. Nice, beautiful white and creamy colored leaves or petals on there. Still have a lot of time for these to get more blooms. You can see some starting right here. But the leaves are just gorgeous on here. Look at this one. How pretty that is. So that's my hedge of the Endless Summer. These original, these are newer planted ones. They're younger than the other plants, I think, by probably 2 or 3 years, but they're doing great right here. And then we'll just walk right over this way. Now, when we designed this, we decided just putting some pathways in and having little plots of flower beds. We have some cats meow in here. We have Black Susan that we had transplanted. All of this had been transplanted over. Some of my did not do well this year, and some of them died off. And this is the opening act, Romance. That's the one that's blooming in here. Not sure what happened to that. Some of these I got from one of my neighbor's house. She was selling. We had a white chiffon Rose of Sharon that had died, and then I cut all the dead stems off, and it's coming back, so that's really good. This is a Spire Blue Holly. I didn't put this winter, and we had to eat the leaves off of it. Apparently the deer really like these, so we really need to protect them. But they are getting some leaves back, which makes me really happy. We'll back up. We'll take a look at our area around our patio. So we have our hibiscus that are coming up right now. And my hibiscus videos seem to be my videos that people really like to watch. And I am starting to see some flower buds on here, but this usually doesn't bloom until the end of July or 1st of August. But I am seeing some flower buds come up on here. These are from Proven Winner. These are the hardy hibiscus. These usually get to be taller than me, and they have hundreds of blooms on them. I have all the videos on the Candy Crush from Proven Winner. But they're doing really great. I have black-eyed Susans are taking over in here that I need to transplant. So I have a lot of black-eyed Susans. I have daisy, Shasta daisies. I have some lilies, some sage, coneflowers, and then these tall ones are the Limelight Prime. Going around here. This year we really struggled with some of our hydrangeas not blooming very well, but this year they seem to be really taking off, and we're seeing a lot of blooms on here, so that's really good. I planted over some impatiens under my lilac tree, and we put a couple hostas here too. We have some coneflowers, we have some butterfly bushes, and we come around to our quick fire hydrangeas on this side, and then on this side we have the strawberry vanilla hydrangea. Over here we've been working on our wedding garden area. We have alternating here strawberry, vanilla, and hydrangeas. We just put these tiles down, but we're not finished. So we're still on finishing this up. We are thinking about bringing 2 more tiles out here for the bride and groom to be able to stand right outside the wedding garden. Again, my phlox here for some reason didn't do well. I'm not sure why. A lot of the leaves died in here, but we're still getting some blooms. When we get to the wedding, in August, they still looking very good, I'll just cut those back so it looks a little nicer in here. I also, on these corners, I have climbing hydrangea. And this thing was small when we planted it, and it's just really taking off, and it's starting to wrap itself around these posts. Back here I do have some pillar white rose of Sharon here, and then I had a surprise one back here that is the I'm not exactly sure which one it was a mistake, but and then I have some clematis that I have growing in around. So if you see skinny vines right here, that's white clematis that is growing up through with this. So in the spring we get really big clematis petals. I have some French vanilla hibiscus in here, also from Proven Winners. And you can see the strawberry vanilla is just now starting to bloom. Last year these did not bloom very well. I was really disappointed and really worried about how they were going to do this year, but they're doing really great. Our our Incredible weren't doing last year either. I had planted, when I planted them, they were only a few inches tall, and I decided to put plant two next to each other, and I apparently planted them too close, and it was basically killing them off. So I had to separate them, and now this year these Incredibles are doing. And let's go ahead and walk around to the outside of this so they can see the back. Also in here I did plant the Snowdrift Supertunia, and these are starting to fill in also. Just to give it a little bit more white up front. I just wanted to show you the back of this wedding garden because I think the back is just as nice as the front. And here is, for example, this white Incredible had two planted here, and they were really planted way too close together. So I separated them. I moved it over here. A lot of it died off, so I just cut it back, but it is making a comeback. Last year, this Incredible, because I had those planted so close together, this one was all flopping over that way and filling out like it was supposed to. But now it's in like it should and absolutely looks gorgeous. And we'll walk around this way. Again, some of the that I separated, here's that other one right here. It does look like it's getting a few leaves on that one, but the main ones are doing really great, so I'm happy about that. Here's another one. This one almost died because being planted too close together, but now this is doing well. It's going to fill in more next year, so I'm not worried about it. And then this is the one I separated, and it's still making a little bit of a comeback. So we'll go and walk this way. More strawberry vanilla hydrangea, just alternated. Doesn't this look beautiful? It's so gorgeous. And once all of these start blooming, they start out white, and then they will turn pink. All right, and then around the edge of the wedding garden, I have quick Fire Fab. As you can tell, they're just starting to bloom. They start blooming with a little bit of a green top, and as these finish blooming out, you can see this one now, it's almost all white, and as the season goes on, they start to get they turn really pretty, like bubblegum pink. Then it just keeps getting darker and darker as the season goes on. When I planted these, they were 6 inches tall. This wedding garden has been in the plan for about 5 years. And I think these are, I want to say, about 4 years old. I think this is their 4th year. These get 6 to 8 feet tall and wide. And they should, in another couple years, be a nice right around here, all filled in, and they're getting pretty close now. You can see how tall they are getting. I'm 5 feet, and this one's probably over my head from what I can tell. And yeah, they're a little bit differently and filling in a little bit differently, but they're all doing. Man, this one's really gorgeous. Come look at this. It's really starting to bloom out real nicely. Can you just see that in a bouquet of flowers? How pretty that would be. Again, these are the quick Fire Fab from Proven Winner. And then as we get down this way more, again, you can see the height differences. They were all planted at the same time. Here on down, they different rates. And then when we get right here, we have the original Limelights. You can see there's a lot of buds, but the quick Fire Fab are one of the earliest to blooms. These will be blooming here shortly. You can see them starting to come out, but the quick Fire Fab and the quick Fire are two of the earliest blooming panicle hydrangeas. But look at how tall these are. And these get 6 to 8 feet tall and wide also. And we want to go right around this way. We have right over here, did plant two quick fire, Pinky Winkies. These are just the original Pinky Winkies. They're not the prime. They should be as big as that one in the front yard. I probably planted them way too close together, but I'll just have to prune them as they get bigger. We'll continue to right around this way. These are more Limelight hydrangeas right through here. And then when we get here, we have more quick Fire Fab, and you can just tell the difference in the bloom time. Just bloom sooner. And I'm looking forward to them having lots and lots of blooms on them. So you can see this is the Fire. Beautiful white buds on these, but they do start to turn pink as the season goes on. Another beautiful flower to put in a bouquet. And then we can walk right out here. Oh, I have to show you. This is the white chiffon. Got Japanese beetles. This is the first one to bloom. And it gets a nice crisp white. And there's lots and lots of buds on here. So I'm looking forward to this really coming into full bloom. Japanese beetles. And then I have a second one right over here. We did have to replace one because it died. But we'll move ahead and go this way. If you want to go in this way, I'll show them my planters that I made. Right here, I put in an arborvitae into this planter, and then I planted some supertunias, this drift supertunias in here to fill it out. And I will use these as part of the wedding, when we go ahead and do the wedding vow renewal for our 25th wedding anniversary. All right, over here we have more Candy Crush, hibiscus. We have hydrangeas in here that are just starting to get some buds on here. Over on this, we have a planter that we planted up, and we have sweet potato vine taking over. I mean, these supertunias are aggressive. Boy, these sweet potato vines like this area also, and I have snowdrift in here. We had a sunflower pop up over here and on the other side, so I left those in. I guess we're going this way. Right here we have coneflower alley. We have also different colors in here. We have salsa. We have let's see, I can't remember, something darling, all sorts of colors, but you can find these at any of the, you can call them echinacea, however you want to call them, all sorts of different varieties, and you can get in just about anything. Here's even a white one right here. I don't think you can go wrong with any of your coneflowers, and if you don't your flowers back, these are all seed, and I don't cut mine back. I let the birds eat them in the fall and winter, and then the birds spread all of the seeds, so that's been really for me, and I'll show you that in a little bit up on our hill over there. This is another chiffon to make this little corner soften up, and again, not yet. And over here we have more hibiscus planted over here. We have red and then the vanilla over, and then I'll come over this way. All right, in this little area we have more coneflowers. We have storm cloud, that's winners. We have some daylilies. We have black-eyed Susans that are getting close to blooming. We have there's hibiscus, more. I drew a blank on that one. Oh my goodness. Baptisia. I think it's a blueberry. These are the puffer fish. They're starting to get some blooms on it. And these get, I think, 4 to 6 feet tall and wide. And this should all fill in. I have 4 of them planted in here. More daylilies, another hibiscus, storm cloud. We have daisy, or no, these are the banana cream, although they're so white. The banana cream daisies, and then coneflowers over here. Everything's looking really, really nice now. We're still waiting for some of the things to start blooming. But doesn't this coneflower alley look really, really pretty over here? As we continue, we'll walk right around to the back of the house, right up this way. Let's see. We have, these are some coneflowers from the birds. And this is the Let's Proven Winner hydrangea right here. Lots of coneflowers, and we have ladies and allium in here. And then we have more quick Fire Fab coming up through, just starting to bloom. This is a Limelight Prime right here. We have some Invincible Spirit right here, some daylilies, and then I have some Oriental lilies planted up here, not yet blooming. And we have Bobo Hydrangea again right here inside this cute little seating area and gate. And then, Jose, are you able to pop right over there? And I'll stay over here if you can go film that hill. Actually, I'll walk over to the others. So Jose's going to show you more of those coneflowers that we have. And I planted 1 row of them at the top, and the birds have spread the seed to all the rest. Now this is a hill that we're trying to keep from washing out, and it's got a lot of stones planted in here. And even with all the stones and the little bit of ground that we have in here, these coneflowers have taken off, and it's just so beautiful. And we're still waiting for all the rest of the black-eyed Susans to start blooming. The black-eyed Susans have also started to spread in here also. So it's just been a really fun garden to change and grow. And I will probably need to transplant some because it is getting pretty full in here, but it's so gorgeous. I don't really want to do it. But again, you can't go wrong with the echinacea. You can call them echinacea or coneflower or whatever you want to call them. You can call it black-eyed Susan or rudbeckia. I also have in this garden little lime I think it's Invincible hydrangea in there. So we have one. That one has probably gotten about its full height as of right now. And we have a little white dog making his way in there. Aren't you dreamy? Yes, you're a good boy. All right, so I will walk back around the front of the garden. Meet Jose over there. All right, and then we did some baskets in here. Well, I don't have tags for all of these, but you can just take a look at them. And I did blue and yellow for in here. Did something different. I usually do super petunias, but I wanted to try something different. If you're wondering what this cool is right here, it's little yellow flowers on it. It's kind of hard to see on here, but it's the Proven Accents Waikiki Sunset, and it can go into sun to shade. Sweet potato vine in here also. I don't know if you see the little yellow flowers on there. That's a really neat plant. A little yellow and some pink in there. I also did the pure white butterfly in here. So those are proven winners also. That's in there. Tried something a little different this year. Bobos are getting big and doing really great. And then we'll come on down this way. We have several different varieties of hydrangeas in here. What is that? Firelight. This is the Firelight. And then I have 3 more quick Fire Fab. So 1, 2, 3. And then I have 3 of the Limelight Prime in here. And then I have the White Incredible in here. just gorgeous. This thing is doing fantastic. I have a quick Fire Fab getting smushed in here by these Incrediballs. And then I have more of the quick fire and the yellow Baptisia. This is the Tuscan, I think, is this the Tuscan Gold Heliopsis? Yeah, these are Tuscan Gold Heliopsis, and this is a strawberry vanilla. I don't really see too many blooms on here. Oh, I see a few. Starting to get some on here, some little ones. And we just go right around. Look at how gorgeous this is. Isn't that beautiful? And all this white. And then you walk in here, and these are going to continue to get as tall as me. These are the Candy Crush hibiscus. But if you pop right in here, you can see I have some pink, and this is the Invincible Spirit, I believe. I don't, this is, yeah, Spirit, not the Incredible, Blush Incredible, but gorgeous in here with all that pink. So we have that. So we have a whole hedge here of Candy Crush hibiscus. And if you watched my previous video, you saw that we cut these back using an electric tree, and they all back just fine. This is, I don't know if you've heard of it before, but this is the Zinfandel hydrangea from Proven Winners. When I planted this, it was very small and it did not look very healthy at all, but it's really out and it looks fantastic. It gets pink, more of a wine color, I guess, to it after to turn the pink. It's very pretty. And then this is another Pinky Winky hydrangea. This is doing really well. It's starting to really fill out and get taller. So everything in here is just really doing fantastic. I have some planted here, but it just hasn't been really growing very well for me. And then I have some other pink and chiffon hydrangeas planted, and they're doing okay. They haven't grown much, but I think eventually they're gonna get up there. They're about 3 feet tall right now, and so we have our roses right, but they already bloomed. I'm hoping that they're going to give me another. I cut them back. I deadheaded them. Ouch! And they should be putting out another batch of blooms. And then right here I have another blue chiffon Rose of Sharon, another Firelight Tidbit right here. I did make these baskets. I'll also incorporate these in our wedding garden for any weddings we might decide to have. But that is our garden tour as of right now. We still have a lot of things that need to start blooming, and we look forward to everything else getting and blooming and filling in and giving you another tour probably in a couple weeks when everything really comes out and starts blooming. Again, thanks for watching Heather's Michigan Garden. I hope you enjoyed this video.